I'm Laurie Cardoza-Moore, and this is Focus on Israel. Have you ever wanted to go to Israel? Well, there's nothing like walking through the land that the prophets, the disciples, and Yeshua walked. On today's program, we're going to do the next best thing as we travel there in words and pictures. So welcome to this edition of Focus on Israel. I'm Laurie Cardoza-Moore, and in 2005, I founded Proclaiming Justice to the Nations, a nonprofit organization dedicated to educating and sharing the message of Christian biblical responsibility to the people and land of Israel. Over the past several years, as I met and interviewed leading experts, I wanted to share with you what I've learned. The mission of this series and PJTN is to educate and equip you so that you can gain knowledge that you can share with family and friends. We'll present information you'll not see in the mainstream media. With your help, we can reach Christians around the world with our message to stand against the growing threat of anti-Semitism and anti-Israel propaganda. It was after studying the scriptures that I realized God had not forsaken his covenant with his people. That is why it is so important that at this time we must turn our focus on Israel. I must tell you that I'm really excited because there's nothing to compare to going to Israel. Well, okay, I really do wish I could pay to fly all of you there, but I hope you'll consider traveling to Israel with us sometime soon. You know, I could talk all day about my love for Israel, but I'd like you to hear from several pastors and church leaders who will testify what they experienced on their travels to the land that God calls his.
Pastor Jack Hayford here. On the 60th anniversary of the establishing of the State of Israel, I want to encourage you to visit as I have. I tell you, you'll never be the same. To go to Israel is to change the way you will ever approach the Bible, the way you'll view our times, the way you'll view Israel and the Jews, and the challenges that are faced in that land. To begin with, have you ever visited somebody's home and after that, whenever you think of them in the context there and not just as faces? Well, the Bible becomes faced in an entirely deeper and richer way because you have been where it happened and you see those things unfold in your mind as you read its pages. Secondly, the prophetic hour we live in becomes electrically now when you visit Israel. You'll never be the same because you know you are living in remarkable times, and it's a joy to sense how they apply to you. And then finally, Israel needs friends, and you'll find a friendliness there, and you'll find something that affects your view on the global tensions that so frequently surround that land, that causes your heart to recognize that every effort is sincerely being made there by the leadership, by the people, to serve the interests of peace. You'll never be the same when you visit Israel. Visit.
You know that I've always loved my God. But when I accepted Jesus into my heart, my love for the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob was even greater. My love for Israel, my love for the Jewish people. I wanted to learn to love my God even in a greater way. So I went to Israel. As I walked the streets of Jerusalem, as I worshiped at the Western Wall, my love for the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob, my love for Israel, my love for the Jewish people was so great that I came back and I started doing things to bless Israel immediately. I encourage every one of you to visit Israel. I guarantee you'll never be the same. Congratulations, Israel, on your 60th anniversary. In celebration, I plan to take family and friends here from New Mexico to Israel
How does one say and capture with words what visiting Israel has done for my life? How do I put it in 90 seconds? How do I put it in 90 hours? I cannot tell you the difference it has made in my life, because now when I open this precious book, this book that is God's book, it takes on a whole new dimension, it takes on a whole new depth. And all of a sudden I find myself walking through the land of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. I hear the voices of Isaiah and Jeremiah and even Ezekiel as he looks at the temple. It all has shape and form and understanding and a dimension I never would have had in understanding the Word of God if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. I tell people it's the most important and effective thing that you can do is to visit Israel, as long as you visit it with someone that is going to open the book and teach you from the book. No short devotionals, but looking at the Word of God and letting it seep deep inside so that when you go home, you're there in Israel when you read God's book. It has also bonded me to the people, and it has made me a valiant supporter of the land of Israel, because I have met those people and talked to them face to face and fallen in love with God's beloved Israel.
Just about every single person that I know that has gone to Israel, and there's been a lot of people that I know that's gone to Israel, have come back with the same basic testimony, and that is, it has been a life-changing experience. It has been a trip of a lifetime. The Bible has come to life. Well, let me join my voice, I'm Glenn Plummer, with many others in congratulating Israel on their 60th anniversary. And I want to encourage you to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Israel in 2008. And let me also say, visit Israel, you will never be the same.
I've had the wonderful opportunity to visit Israel on 7 occasions now, and I tell you, I didn't want to leave. Trust me, when everyone says you'll never be the same, your life and the way you understand the Bible will radically change. So now we're going to jump on a plane and fly to Israel for a virtual guided tour of the Holy Land. Compliments of El Al and the Israel Ministry of Tourism.
From your earliest memories, the great stories of faith and Bible characters have come alive in the land of Israel. Coming to Israel is like coming home. Names of places, important events, they're all familiar. You've studied your Bible and you know the places. It's time you experience them. With El Al, your Israel experience begins the moment you choose to fly with us. We pay attention to the smallest details of your journey so you don't have to. El Al is your home away from home. Piloted by veterans of Israel's Air Force, El Al can be trusted to provide safety, security, and hassle-free peace of mind throughout your journey. So come to Israel with El Al and have the experience of a lifetime, again and again.
There's only one place in the world, a small piece of land that God declared his own. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, but many key events in his life occurred in the areas surrounding the Sea of Galilee. In this region, he grew in wisdom and spirit, and in every direction you look, you feel as if you're walking in the footsteps of Jesus.
Being here where he walked, where he lived, where he taught, it is like being there with him when he was doing it. You read the Bible, what he said here in these places, and it's like you're actually there when he did it.
It's really an amazing archaeological find. Something that really makes you understand better how the fishermen were back then, and gives me a better view of maybe how Jesus and his disciples fished and were on the Sea of Galilee.
From these peaks, it is possible to observe many things. The bustle of the city, the unique way of kibbutz life, the cooperative society of the moshav, and the coexistence of various religions and different cultures. But above all, the great vision and prophecy of making the desert bloom comes to life before your eyes, here in Israel. As he approached Jerusalem and saw the city, he wept over it. Jerusalem, without doubt, is the jewel in Israel's crown, the city of faith and hope for over 2,000 years. Jerusalem possesses deep significance for literally millions of people around the world, being the birthplace of Judaism and Christianity, and one of the holiest places for Islam.
To see the places where Jesus has walked and actually be there and have it become real and something that's tangible to actually see the places I've read about, actually be there. It's really exciting.
My heart will not forget to always speak your name. I'll sing the song of Zion, with tender heart proclaim the longing of the ages within the heart of man, the crossroads of the world in God's eternal plan. Israel, Israel, eternal land of promise, desire of my heart. Israel, Israel, a land that's like no other. Let all the earth proclaim that when you stand on holy ground, you'll never be the same. God moved the hearts of men, who in turn moved the world. After years of yearning, Zion was unfurled, a homeland for God's people, designed by his own hand, the hope of generations, forever it will stand. Israel, Israel, eternal land of promise, desire of my heart. Israel, Israel, a land that's like no other. Let all the earth proclaim that when you stand on holy ground, you'll never be the same.
This month marks the 70th anniversary of the historic Declaration of the State of Israel. God's sovereign hand can be seen all over this land. Included in the celebrations is the opening of the American Embassy right here in Jerusalem. In honor of this celebration, PJTN is offering a special 70th anniversary package, which includes a captivating new book and an award-winning DVD. Israel Rising is a unique visual story of Israel's miraculous journey from unforgiving desert to thriving nation. Thousands of years ago, the prophet Ezekiel foretold a future time in which the arid land of Israel would come alive for its people. Now this breathtaking book documents the fulfillment of this vision, as rarely seen photographs from the 1880s to the 1940s are juxtaposed with recent photos of the same locations. This book will inspire and captivate you as it illuminates Israel's foretold awakening in a new and unforgettable way. In addition, you'll receive the award-winning documentary, Israel Indivisible: The Case for the Ancient Homeland. This inspiring film examines the many political twists and turns that make Israel the world's most controversial nation. From Abraham and the Promise to the issues facing the Jewish state today, the film examines the historical, archaeological, legal, and biblical foundations for the modern state of Israel. This is a limited time offer for these two remarkable resources for just a one-time gift of $70 today. Your generous donation will help ensure that PJTN stays on the front lines and in the headlines of all the important issues facing Israel and our Jewish brethren. So please go to pjtn.org today. I don't know about you, but I'm planning my next trip as soon as possible. Actually, each year, PJTN plans several trips to Israel. And if you're interested in going with us, please contact us at pjtn.org. Next up, I recently had a chance to travel to New York to sit and talk with Rabbi Pesach Lerner. Rabbi Lerner is the Executive Vice President of the National Council of Young Israel. The National Council of Young Israel was founded in 1912 as a nonprofit organization that provides religious, educational, Zionistic, social, and communal programming for its over 200 member synagogues. Rabbi Lerner gave the perspective from a learned rabbi of not only why you should visit Israel, but how to get the most out of your walk through the land.
I invite all of you. Go visit Israel. Go visit the Jewish holy sites, the Christian holy sites, your holy sites, whoever's listening. Go take a tour. See what the Israelis are living through. Make sure that when you go, you visit the Syrian, UN, Jordan, the borders, and see how close they are. Go up to the Golan Heights and spit, if I may use that expression, and discover where it lands. And imagine if it was a rocket shell. Okay, go to Gush Katif, or go close and say, wait a second, Ashkelon? And realize that they could shoot. Go take a look and think when you land at Ben Gurion Airport, when you're flying down. Just in your mind, find out afterwards how far Judea and Samaria is from the airport. And imagine for a second, God forbid, that the Israelis gave away Judea and Samaria. Right? You could be looking down at the gun barrel of a rocket booster when you land. It's that close. They could be sitting on a hill and shooting rockets, land to surface missiles at our planes. It's not, it's not New York to Texas. It's not even one side of Texas to another side of Texas. It's much smaller. And therefore, go visit. It's a beautiful country. It's beautiful people. A lot of history. This is God's country. Okay, but don't go only on your guided tour to see some of the fancy stuff in the museums and the restaurants. If I may say so, get your hands dirty. Go visit the people. Go to some of the communities. Go to Hebron and see what the heroes of Hebron are living in, because they want to live around the patriarchs and the matriarchs. Go visit the communities that have a history. Go to Shiloh. Go to Beth El. Go places that you have the history. It's all there. Go see the archaeology. Go see the city of David, where you sit there and you position yourself in the right place, and all of a sudden you read from the Psalms of David and you say, now I understand where he's referring to the mountains and the sun and the moon. This is the place that exactly fits the geography and the astronomy of what David spoke. Okay, the Arab state never existed. The excavations prove that it did. Walk the tunnels from where the high priests and the Jews went before the holidays. Go see it. Right? If you're allowed on the Temple Mount, I mean, the history is there. You can't say we didn't exist. How do you deal with a nation that says the Temple Mount never existed, that Solomon didn't exist, that David didn't exist? How do you deal with someone who denies your history? And then tell me he wants peace? He denies your existence. Go to Israel. Like I said, yes, go visit the marketplaces and have wonderful Israeli cuisine and enjoy the hotels, but travel the breadth of the country and meet the people. Find a tour guide who will teach you, take you to the places of history and security. Right? Go onto an army base, which can be arranged, and meet the 18 and 19-year-old young men and women who are there, and ask them, why are you in the army? Why are you putting your lives in danger? Right? Meet with some of the tanks commanders, and they know the possibility exists that they will go to war, and they will fight, and they will lose their lives. And ask them what makes them tick. Right? It's an experience you'll never forget. Too many of we tour Israel, and we don't meet and greet the kids on the street. When I take a tour, I stop with the bus. We've always got drinks and treats and anything else you can. And we find in a group of soldiers, we get off and we say thank you, and we give them drinks and we take pictures. Okay, and it comes back to me years later, that was the best part of the trip. I was able to connect. So for those of you who've gone, go again. For those of you that haven't, we got to go with a mission. And when you get there, make sure that you go off the beaten path. Get your feet wet, get your hands wet. Right? And see how they live. Right? Sit and talk to some of these kids. I remember once going to Hebron and with a small group, and one of the rabbis in the group asked a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, how are you? What do you do? Do you know where we're from? And without batting an eyelash, this 5-year-old looked up and says, yes, from Galut, from the exile. I'm here. You're over there. We were like blown away, flabbergasted. This 5-year-old had an understanding, and we come back.
That's our show for today, and I want you to know we appreciate hearing from you. Please send your comments and questions to comments@pjtn.org, and I'll gladly read them on a future program. I hope I've made it clear that the time to stand up is now. Be a leader in your community and in your church. One person can make a difference. Get involved with and support pro-Israel organizations such as PJTN. Call your senators, congressmen, the White House. Let your elected leaders hear from you. Visit our website to learn more. Sign up to receive free newsletters, action alerts, daily blogs, and order our films to share with family and friends. I want to thank you for watching our program today. Please encourage your family and friends to tune in and become informed as well. God bless you, and thank you for all you do on behalf of our Jewish brethren and all Israel. We'll see you next time on Focus on Israel. You just learned a portion of the truth about the world's most volatile region, the world's most demonized country, and the 2,000-year hatred of a people that have survived despite the odds. From studying history, it's very clear that what starts with the Jews never ends only with the Jews. We must strongly stand against any anti-Semitic trends, for if not stopped, they'll cause harm to all of us, and we'll witness the downfall of our Judeo-Christian Western culture. Today, many people say there's no longer a need for a Jewish state, that Jews around the world no longer need a place of refuge. But anyone who has heard recent statistics about the worldwide rise in anti-Semitism would never make such a claim. The reality is that neo-Nazi groups and Nazi sympathizers are increasing around the world. Surveys show that over 1 billion people in the world harbor anti-Semitic attitudes. Close to 50% believe that Jews have too much power in the business world, and 2/3 of the world's population has never heard of the Holocaust or believe the historic accounts of it are inaccurate. Don't let yourself be manipulated by evil people with a wicked agenda. When the self-serving villains are in control, good people from all religions suffer. Muslims, Christians, and all people of conscience should stand proudly and show respect for a country that gives so much to the world in so many ways. Do your part, do your research, and do what you can to make a difference. Because what happens in Israel does affect us all. This is not just a Jewish or just an Israeli problem. This is a problem for all humanity, for each and every one of us who believe in freedom and human rights. Learn more about what you can do at pjtn.org.
To support this program, send your tax-deductible gift to Proclaiming Justice to the Nations, P.O. Box 682711, Franklin, Tennessee 37068. You can also support PJTN online. Visit pjtn.org or call 1-877-873-9020. Focus on Israel is now available on DVD. Each program DVD contains a wealth of bonus materials, including the premier program that started it all, Focus on Israel, program number 1. Also, bonus interview cuts with experts in their respective fields. Informational videos from PJTN documentaries, including Israel Indivisible, the Case for the Ancient Homeland. Lest We Forget, 9/11 and the Rise of Islam. The Forgotten People, Christianity and the Holocaust. Disinformation, the secret strategy to destroy the West. Plus the award-winning music video, The Forgotten People. Focus on Israel program DVDs, great educational tools to combat anti-Semitism. Arm yourself and order today. Please go online to pjtn.org. To order, just click on the Store tab. Thanks and blessings from Focus on Israel.